All right, so here's your astrology reading, and we're looking specifically at the Sun Moon opposition that's happening on the Pisces Virgo axis, which, as you know, is on your midheaven at 21 degrees Virgo and your IC, or your home and roots, which is at 21 degrees Pisces. So we want to acknowledge that whole axis. The IC, I like to think of as the inner child. This also relates to your home that you grew up in, your childhood home. The home within your body that is still the home of your inner child. So before you go out into the world on your MC, the MC on the mic, up out in the public view, what we can see about you, before you do that, you have to fully be in your IC, in your home and roots, being in the cave of your heart, or the womb that nourishes and grows your inner child, your IC. And you have that in Pisces. And the moon is there now. The moon that nourishes, that feeds, that is the life blood, the water that created all of life, is right on your womb, your inner child's womb. So before you go out into your contribution to the world and do your midheaven, you have to fully sink down into your IC, home and roots, the womb that holds and nourishes your inner child. Getting that nourishment from the salty sea water of the Pisces sea of consciousness, you're nourished in that and able to like burst out into your new version of how you're doing your career, your contribution to the world. So you soak in, be saturated in that salty water. It looks and tastes like the fluid of amniotic fluid. So I want to mention that so I have two charts here for you. This is the one that puts the full moon out in this outer circle, like a relationship chart. This is a synastry chart. And then I have the regular chart that I like to look at, because here I can more clearly see, well, what is her midheaven? You have the south node on the midheaven, which says that in your contribution to the world, you're bringing out the habits, patterns, addictions, things that are hidden, things that we have been imprinted with, our karmic patterning, things that we don't necessarily like to bring out to the surface. Your contribution to the world is bringing those things out to the surface. When I say those words, I see combat, I see fighting, I see people not wanting that because the light, because of the north node, because of that north star, which is what we focus on, solar culture. We are currently a solar culture focusing on the light. The south node is the opposite of that. The south node is, so if it would be the south star. Where are your roots? It is getting down into the hood and going back into that southern cooking and twerking and all of those things, the voodoo, the witches, the energy of sexuality, intensity, and bringing that all up to the surface. You wearing that in your dreads, being that personification of those roots, the roots. So it's like what I see now is like if there's a plant planted in the soil and we take it and show the roots, those roots can get dried out. And they're not meant to be touched by the sun because their roots, they need to be in the soil. So for you to fully bring those roots out, you need to remember every night to turn them back into your amniotic fluid and let them be saturated with that Pisces womb fluid. So the other thing is that right now, Mars and the sun are together really close, touching your midheaven. So this can seem like, what I see is my inner masculine, because I have Mars right there also. My Mars is in Pisces. And I'm just using that as an expression to say there could be this masculine force that is illuminating you right now. And I'm seeing that as like the way that the energy feels as this reading is coming out, that it can be very assertive, but in a loving, compassionate, empathic way that like wants to hold you and love you so much. So that Sun and Mars together shining this into your career, into your contribution to the world, like the way that you are showing up once it's infused fully with this amniotic fluid of the Pisces full moon. Again, because the sun is in opposition to the moon, we want to look also and see, oh, there's Neptune down there right next to the moon in perfect opposition with Mars, cradling you in your contribution to the world and in your womb, your IC, your inner child being nurtured with this womb-like amniotic substance of the Pisces moon. So Neptune down there in retrograde is not only your dreams and visions of reality, but the collective dreams and visions of reality, creating this tidal wave of energy and emotion that we are riding with the Pisces full moon. And then as that energy is coming up, this is me talking, I want to say this right now, that we are these waves. We are this continual fluctuation of energy. That Pisces moon that we're feeling right now, this is a constant state of our emotions. This Pisces moon represents energy in motion and the way that those waves are waving, the way that the ocean waves to us. This is like your internal waters are constantly waving. And we grasp onto a particular wave and call this my emotion. But it's not true. Every wave comes to an end and it retracts, and then it comes in another form, and here's anger, and then here's bliss, and then here is this joy coming, and they're just continually coming, but we grasp onto them. And so I think when people are saying release your emotions, I think it's just weird. Like, if I am these waves consistently flowing and moving, where does the release come? They are releasing. They're doing what waves do. And it's just my mind that thinks I need to release something. If I just let the waves wave me and move me, they have a natural progress that happens. So all I need to do is stand back, and I had this experience of floating in Kauai once. It was so scary, but also so liberating to just fully surrender into the waves and let them move me however they're going to move me. And we're always held and safe. The emotions, as our dear friend mentioned in that podcast that you so beautifully facilitated, those 103 emotions that we are expressing and experiencing, the more that we allow them to wave us, the more and more access that we have to more of them. So I'm seeing 52.5. We maybe have experienced only half of emotionality that we're capable of experiencing as humans. And like whenever you want to work with entities, say, or some sort of spiritual energy that you may not understand, you're only going to be able to work with as much as you are capable of in the sense of what you have said yes to. Some people are scared of ghosts. Some people are scared of the dark. entities. Some people are afraid of those, so therefore they won't experience them. The same way with emotions. If we have said yes to a certain limiting, which, oh, so many people have said yes to only this group of emotions, they won't have full access. Therefore, they will never reach that full aloha ma that we are here to evolve into, that other 52.5 that we haven't yet reached. So allowing the waves, allowing them and letting them move and do what they do. Okay, so thank you so much for letting me read your chart. As you can see, I needed that. I hope this has been beneficial and helpful to you. And thank you so much. I love you and I look forward to connecting with you soon.